Tell me, why were you at the mall? What did you see? What happened?
I mean, just like everybody else, we were there just, Christmas shopping, and all of a sudden, I was separated from my wife and my girls. That they were actually in Von Mar, right next to basically right next to the food court, and I got a phone call from my stepdaughter, Sophia, that was they ended up seeing all these people running towards them, and they had to exit Von Mar. They had to run out of the store, and ended up having to run across the parking lot to Best Buy to get away from what was going on. And then I got pushed out the other way, out of the mall the other way. They ended up getting everybody out and closing the doors. So everybody just kind of panicked and had to find their way to their vehicles to get out of there.
Police described it as a pandemonium at first. Describe how many people were in the mall, what you saw, and what was happening.
The mall was packed. There was people everywhere, but all of a sudden you just saw, people just running in all directions, screaming, people are shooting, and there's women with little babies outside of the mall trying to get to their vehicles. There was people crying. It was a scary moment.
Yeah, it sounds awful. Now, what you heard were just reports of people shooting, but I'm correct in that you didn't see or hear any shots fired?
Correct.
Okay. And do you live in that area? And did you have any thoughts of going out to that mall, in wake of what had happened there over the summer? Or how did you regard that?
Honestly, we live about 10 minutes away from the mall. The last shooting was something obviously in our heads. But at this point, Christmas, and it didn't even cross our minds that somebody would come out and do something like that again.
Right. And of the people that were in the mall, you described it as being pretty crowded. What were the individual retailers doing as the customers were scrambling?
They were basically just yelling for everybody to get out. They were trying to close all the shops down. They were pulling down the fences, to close all the shops. They were telling everyone, you got to get out of the mall, and as soon as everybody was out of that particular store, they were just locking the doors.
That must have been pretty disconcerting for you to be separated from your loved ones when this panic is happening.
Absolutely. That was probably the worst part. I finally got a phone. I was finally able to get through. My stepdaughter called me, and once they told me that they were safe, they were out of the mall, then that's when I exited the other way and was able to go get our vehicle.
Yeah, it's frustrating because when you're in the mall and the retailers are pulling down their gates, you don't have a lot of different places to go, do you? You're kind of looking around like, where am I going? Where am I going?
Yeah, it was pretty much trying to decide if I had to run back in to find them or if I could go out. But luckily, we got in touch with each other and we were all able to get out fine.
Oh, I'm appreciate you taking the time tonight to kind of help set the scene and describe what was happening as the shoppers were inside the mall. As the reports went out, we heard that the shots were fired around 5:21. How long after that would you estimate that you were hearing reports that there was perhaps an incident at the mall?
Oh, it was, maybe 5, 10 minutes. After it happened, it's like one of those things where I'm sure everybody kind of started assuming, you don't want to sit there and ask questions anymore. You just want to get out. You keep hearing people say, someone's shooting, someone's got a gun, someone's shooting, and pretty much everybody just scattered.
Right. Well, thank you so much, Caleb Ramirez, for your time tonight. I'm glad that you were able to be reunited with your loved ones, and I do wish you a safe and happy holiday. And we're so glad that this incident seems to be limited to what it is so far.